This is my Champion Scroll Only Ironman. The only thing it's allowed to do is kill Champion Scroll monsters to get their Champion Scrolls. Last time, after over a year of killing Moss Giants, we finally got the Giant Champion Scroll. We're finally moving on. Alright gamers, we're getting ready to enter territory we've never entered before. We're going into magic. Putting away all of our melee gear, pulling out this magic staff. We can't use the fire battle staff yet because we don't have the magic level. We'll need our precious air runes, which we have a very limited supply of. I'll talk about that later. And mind runes, all of our elemental runes. We'll see how much use we can get out of these body runes, and that's probably going to be it for now. We also want to look cool, so I've grabbed the chef's hat and the cape. Everything else has minus to magic, so this is going to be what we look like for a while. And it's sick. So it looks like our brain has insufficient experience to teleport straight to Nightmare Zone. I'd like to use the spawn northeast of Yanel since it's so close to a bank. And we'll probably be doing this for a while. There's a lot of imps that spawn right here around the Nightmare Zone, so it looks like I'm going to have to run there. So we're going to teleport to Castle Wars, try to run over there. So I'd like to briefly mention our air runes. These 3,700 runes are actually the only air runes we'll ever obtain on this account. None of the other Champion Scroll monsters drop air runes, believe it or not. So we have to be very careful when using these. We need to make sure we keep enough for the final champion bosses. The Goblin Champion must be defeated with magic attacks, and the Lesser Demon Champion doesn't allow you to bring armor or weapons, only your inventory, so that's basically a magic requirement as well, and that's the highest level one, so we have to make sure we keep enough runes to at least defeat those two champion monsters. There's supposedly 8 imps that spawn over here, but with all the trees around in the way, it might not be very optimal. We'll see how long it lasts. The best benefit of this spot is that it's so close to the bank. And you know how I want to bank everything. It's so exciting to finally be using magic. I can't believe it. Alright. Where's an imp? Here's one. Attack. Oh my gosh. Sick. This might be really stupid. Because they teleport around everywhere. Luckily, our dude will run towards where they are. So the fact that we're right... Where did this one go? Oh man, this is gonna be really bad, isn't it? What a place to teleport to. This is gonna be the worst part of the grind ever, isn't it? Oh my gosh, level up. Magic level 2, amazing. We've killed our first imp. And we got fiendish... What the heck is... Oh, they renamed that? Apparently I'm like a whole year behind because all I've been doing is killing Moss Giants forever. But scattering the ashes is basically the equivalent of burying bones. So, cool. I'll get some prayer XP. Wasn't expecting that. Nice bonus, I guess. So we're actually high enough magic level now to use Confuse. So I think it would definitely be best for me to use Confuse at least until I can use Earth Strike. So I'm getting the most XP out of my casts with the air runes. Since Earth Strike only takes 1 air rune, I need to be as efficient as possible with air runes. The other one's probably not as much because I'll be able to use stronger stuff anyway later on. So yeah, I think I'm going to switch back to my rune scimitar, use Confuse on them, and just kill them with the blade. As sad as that is.
Chicken.
Now we're talking. Okay, so imps unlock something very cool. Cooking. We haven't done any cooking up to this point, but imps drop several items that we'll be able to throw into the fire. While the end result of chicken is arguably useless, only restoring 3 hit points, unlocking cooking is a big deal. No spoilers, but cooking might actually be a pretty big game changer in the late game. Alright, so there's 4 magic, which means we unlock enchant bolts, but I don't think we're actually ever going to get bolts that are able to be enchanted. It would have been cool to be able to use cosmic runes in that way, but not in the cards. And ball of wool, don't be fooled by this. At first glance it looks like, ooh, we could do some crafting. But it's actually turning the wool into a ball of wool. That only requires level 1 crafting. Yeah, it's a rookie mistake, don't beat yourself up about it. It's definitely not a mistake I would ever make. That's not what my first thought was. Definitely not. Bucket of water. Now this is one of 2 components that will actually unlock some stuff. So we'll just have to wait for those. Cabbage. Another pretty much useless food source. It only heals 1 HP. So the game just keeps taunting with useless food sources. Pot of flour. Okay, so there might just be 2 things in my inventory right now that belong together. You guessed it, water and pot of flour. This is how, I mean, I guess we unlock cooking with chicken and raw meat too, but bread? Now we're getting somewhere. Bread actually heals 5 hit points. That's still low, but that's a lot more than everything else we have except for the lobsters, but we only have 2 of those and we'll never get any more. So 5 HP, that's huge. Level 5 magic, that's pretty neat because it unlocks Water Strike, but we'll never be using it, so we can pretty much ignore that. Grain. So this is basically another version of pot of flour. We can just grind it up and reuse the pots that we already have to make more bread, so that's nice. Clay. So this would be another target for our water. Turn this into soft clay and then we could make pots or something. I don't think that would be worth it, so we'll probably not do that and just make as much bread as we can. But it's an option if we want to do that. Burnt bread. Okay, that's amazing. Great. I guess at this point I should add to the rule set that I have to bank everything that drops because that's basically what I'm doing anyway, and I'm definitely banking this burnt bread so I can look at it at the end and be like, yes, this burnt bread is a great achievement. Level 6 magic. Mind Talisman. Man, these imps have all kinds of fun stuff, but we won't be using this, so more bank junk. Yeah, don't be fooled by that. These little guys drop flyers, and they're literally blank. The image is blank, you can't read them, there's nothing you can do with them, it's just blank. When you examine it, it says that it's an advertisement for Bob's Axe Shop, but if that were true, we'd be able to click on it and we'd be able to see it, because this is a point-and-click adventure game. This is not a D&D examine explain game, right? Whatever. But this jug of water will actually be nice because we can use we have 2 grapes. We got 2 grapes during the very brief period where we were killing the goblins at the Goblin Village. So we'll be able to make 2 jugs of wine. In retrospect, we probably should have grinded there more, but we were so low level back in those days, and yeah, retrospect. Honestly, if I had forethought like that back then, that would be a huge game changer. Having like a full inventory of jugs of wine, that would have been nuts. There's Aid Magic. The Wizard Hat. Now this is the big upgrade that we expect from Imps. I guess our first piece of magic bonus equipment? As far as armor is concerned, I guess we have the magic staff and stuff, but yeah, this is pretty dope. Magic level 9. I forgot to record it somehow. I keep forgetting to press record, so let's hope I get this sorted out and don't miss anything important. Magic level 10 and 11, and with 11 we can actually use the next debuff skill, and it actually uses the exact same rooms as the previous one. It just gives more XP, so there's no reason to not use it. Plus it also has a really nice sound. Check this out. It'll be nice to use this one for a while. These are the sounds I was talking about. It's kind of nice to not be constantly prayer flicking, so I can actually have some of the sound on occasionally, just to change things up a little bit. Apparently, along with dropping grain and pots of flour, imps just straight up drop bread, so we don't even have to cook this. That's nice. Pretty nice. Level 13 magic. I apparently missed level 12, but that wasn't important anyway. 13 unlocks Fire Strike, but I did some math, and Earth Strike actually is way better XP per air rune, and air runes are a limiting factor. So if we do end up using magic strikes for training, we'll be using Earth Strikes, even though we have a fire battle staff. Just kind of unfortunate. 14 and 15 magic. So at this point things are going pretty smoothly. At about 150 kills, and I've got a bit of a rhythm going between a few different spawn locations. Right now I'm going between these two. There really aren't usually that many imps around because they like to teleport into the nearby buildings and in the walls of Yanel and stuff. Oh. 16 magic. So it is a bit annoying, but for the most part it's pretty smooth sailing, especially compared to prayer flicking all the time. Definitely a lot less mentally exhausting. That is until one of those little suckers teleports away and then you're left with only one spawn and you gotta hop worlds. Wow. Is this the fabled promised land? Oh my gosh, there are imps everywhere. This is amazing. Hey, get back here, you little. "19 magic unlocks curse, which is even better XP with the same material, so that'll be nice. Straight up bread dough. So I guess this is nicer than a pot of flour and water because we skip a step. I didn't actually know they dropped this, so that'll be some nice extra cooking experience. At this point, we've pretty much had most of the fun we can have with these guys, and it's just a grind from here on out. We're at about 250 kills, so we're just gonna get some level ups out of the way and move on. Generic potion. This is the item that everyone forgets about, and it doesn't do anything, so yeah, the only reason I'm actually including it is because I wanted to use the potion sound effect for Morrowind. But I guess it's cool that we finally get one at like kill 500. And you know the drill at this point. 29 magic. 30 magic. 31 magic. Pretty... ooh. A nice little lineup. Pretty standard stuff. 31 magic is actually getting pretty high. Wow, this is actually really lucky. Wow. I guess we're already moving on. Things are looking pretty cool. We have half of the champion scrolls at this point. Honestly, never expected to make it this far. I feel like I keep saying that, but it really is true. We've made some pretty good progress, and looks like we'll get to do some cooking pretty soon. So stay tuned. My foot is all the way in front, making sure I don't hit something in the dark. I bump my toes into 700-year-old things, like warmed and insulated bottles, empty, aluminum cans, and glass artifacts. The glass things cut me right at the cord, attached to my center, and I fall 30 feet. Letting go isn't something done alone, and for a moment I'm ashes.